Okay. This is the Ways and Means Committee meeting Monday, December 2nd, 2024, 3:30 p.m. Yep. Okay, let us go ahead and get started. And I need a motion and a second to approve minutes for October 28th, 2024. Terry, Mr. Rulin, and Mr. Dwindish. Are there any comments, questions, changes? Okay. All those in favor, would you vote with an aye? All those opposed with a nay? There are none. The motion is passed. Okay, and that was for the 28th. Okay. Moving right along, we're looking at the informational items, starting with our county clerk's office, Ms. Rachel Parker.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I do not have any additional information to add to the report that was in your packet. I would just like to say that we are on target for all of our projections for the year. You know, with having that report is October, so with the next two reports, we should meet or exceed what we had projected in each of the various categories.
Good. Okay. And then, Scott, I do have a question in regards to, I know this is not Rachel's directive, but regarding the new board management software, can you give us a little update? Are you able to give us an update?
Actually, Madam Chair, I'm actually going to ask Assistant County Administrator Musselman to do that because she's been leading the project from the administration side along with Megan, and they're the ones that are best able to update you and the committee.
All right.
So putting Shauna on the spot, but that's okay.
Thank you.
She can manage.
We did have a meeting with them this morning, though, so I'm sure Sean is going to update you.
Yes, so we have been working with ClerkMate to build the system from start to finish of a board process. So starting with submission of the items for the committee packets with Megan, all the way through after committees, transferring that into the board agenda for Rachel's team, and then running the board meeting. So we're done for the most part building the system. After tonight's reorg meeting, we'll go in and there's some tweaks we need to do based upon committee assignments and things like that. But we'll be wrapping that up here hopefully in the next week. This week we started our end user training for department heads and elected officials to learn how to use the system to upload and create their agenda items within the system. So those will run this week and a little carryover into next week. And then if you have not yet responded for board members to Megan's request of the doodle poll, we have 2 trainings scheduled for board members to be in the room. And we're going to run a training on how you'll vote during a board meeting and things like that. And so those are, I think, the 17th and 19th. So if you have not responded to that, you can let Megan know today which of those you'd like to attend.
Thank you. And I believe most of you all should be signed up already. If you haven't, see Miss Megan. Thank you for that update, Rashana. Okay, if there's no other questions or comments to Ms. Parker, let us move on. Well, in regards to our County Election Commission, we do not have a representative today. I believe they're probably still winding some things up. So let us move on to our Supervisor of Assessments, Mr. Dave Ryan.
Thank you, Betty. It will be short. We are wrapping up 2024. We should be done with our board of review hearings in about mid-January, so we're on pace for that. And we are obviously getting ready to do 2025, probably about 6 weeks away from sending out our senior freeze notices, which we send out about 13,000 of those. So that will generate some individuals coming in and new phone calls. We did send out some reminder notices within the last couple weeks to seniors that had not filed their senior freeze as of yet. They still have till the end of December to do that. But if we notice they hadn't filed as of yet, we do send out reminder notices, so we're getting some calls on that also. But otherwise, everything's going pretty smoothly.
Is there a deadline for the senior freeze? I know you just mentioned you'll send out an additional letter or notification.
Yeah, typically what we do is we like to have them in by the end of October. We'll send those out around February of each year, and they have all throughout the year to file those. They do have until the end of December. We like to get them in a little bit earlier, so on the forms we might say October 31st or something to have those in by. That way we know if nobody has sent it in by that date, then we can send out reminder notices to remind them to file.
Are there any other questions, comments to Mr. Ryan? There are none. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
And we see our County Election Commission is here. Elizabeth Gannon.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry for my tardiness. Well, we wrapped up the election, so we had just under just under 70% voter turnout here in Peoria County.
Wonderful.
Dividing that out between vote by mail, early voting, and election day, about 30% voted on election day, 20% voted early, and about 19% voted by mail.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah. So we have already full swing into 2025 election cycle. We have a primary here in the city of Peoria, and for the Peoria Township Assessor, there will be a Republican ticket for that race.
Okay.
And that's
great.
February 25th.
I was about to ask, what date was that? February?
February 25th, and then the consolidated general election will be April 1st.
Yes.
Nothing funny about it. That's all I have, unless you have questions.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Yes. Hey, moving on to our treasurer, Nicole Bierke.
Well, as the assessor wraps up 24, we're wrapping up 23. We had our tax sale, and there were 2,218 parcels that went to the tax sale for a little over $4.2 million. The average bid with the trustees parcels was 4.93. Without the trustee parcel, it was 4.58. As I talked about before, ours is a kind of a sealed bid, so you submit a
Yes.
flash drive and it's done within a half hour. In talking with Joe Meyer's office, who runs our tax sale, there's still some that do the computers, and in the past I've gotten pushback from some tax buyers that they don't think it's fair and that it's not fair to the taxpayers, and I kind of argue that point. And Joe Meyer's office said that most of the ones that were going by computer were averaging about 7-point-something%. So ours is only 4.9 or 4.5 without the trustee. So I will still push back that the way we're doing it is fair to the taxpayers instead of the tax buyers. And the taxpayers are my concern. The trustee ended up getting 577 parcels, which compared with last year is lower. They had 820 last year, so significant change. We had 16 buyers, 13 were successful, 3 were not successful. We're doing our last distribution, which will be done by Friday, and then we'll be able to finish balancing all penalties and everything like that, and do the end of year transfer for the revenue budget for the treasurer's office.
Okay.
And that's it.
Any questions or comments? Yeah, Nicole, in regards to the process for bidding, have you gotten a lot of fallout as a result of that in regards to those who are doing the bidding? You know, when they have to use the little
The flash drive,
flash
no.
drive.
I mean, we can't give legal advice, and there's instructions out on our website, plus Joe Meyer's website. At least one of the tax buyers, actually 2, came unprepared. So that's part of the reasons why they were not successful. Some didn't ask enough questions or research it enough to figure out what the going percentage is. And so they were bidding very high. And in our tax sale, it's the lowest bid that gets it. So the maximum is 9%. If you're coming in at 9% on everything, especially the north end of Peoria, you're not going to get it because most of those are going for anywhere between 0 and 3%.
Okay. Yeah. Any other comments, questions? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Our Mike Brooks, our Veterans Assistance Commission person, will not be here today. He has sent emails out to us in regards to a death. It was, let me see here. There was one of the VSOs, Mike Grow. He passed away on 11/30/24, and so Mike Rook is with the family at this time to doing what the VAC, what they do, they help the family along the way. So again, for you all who are able to send him an email, and he will get it to the family, extend your condolences. Thank you. All right, we have 2 resolutions, and the first one would be the for delinquent taxes for the month of November 2024, and I'd like to get a motion and a second to bring this to the floor. Okay, Mr. Rulon and Sharon, thank you. Like I said, the delinquent taxes for November 2024, there was total items 106, with one including a removal, just one removal. So there were quite a few, but it looks good. All those in favor, if there's any questions, comments? Those in favor, would you vote with an aye? Those opposed with a nay? The ayes have it. Thank you. Okay. And then we have a second resolution, and it is for an additional appropriation of $13,600 into the fiscal year 2024 budget for the payment of additional rental space, CAM, which stands for Common Area Maintenance Charges, and back pay for insurance. And this is in regards to the election office. I need a motion and a second to bring this to the floor. Mr. Matt Windish and Daniel Kelch. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Ms. Sharon?
Scott, can you tell me for how many months this is?
It runs concurrent with the lease for the rest of the building. So that is going to be, trying to think off the top of my head how many more. It's multiple years. So I don't have that lease in front of me, Ms. Williams, but hold on one sec. Let me.
Okay.
If you want to, Madam Chair, if you want to entertain any other questions,
and
I'll track that
in
one down.
that regards, we see where there was a lease agreement was not effective until October 21st, 2024. And so this is one reason why it was not included in our fiscal year 2024. So therefore, we went to the general funds to pull these monies out. And I'm thinking that the month of November, December, these 2 additional fees are the ones that we account for. And that CAM charge, again, like we know that it's monthly, that $837, it is a monthly cost, up $200 from the original. And of course, that unpaid insurance, I calculated at about $5,400. And it's right now, a one-time only charge until next year.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you for stalling there, Madam Chair. So the total life of this, of the lease that you've already approved, and this is a budget amendment related to that lease, will run through July of 2031, which is concurrent with the lease of the other side. What's before you today is 3 months' worth of expenditures for the current calendar and fiscal year.
Can you tell me what the out clause is on this contract?
This out clause gives us the same rights that we had in the other lease. So that is it's. I know it's less than 180 days because we renegotiated that. But let's see, and if Elizabeth knows that off the top of her head, I'd ask her to answer that as well while I pull up. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong document. So it is, so it's going to be somewhere less than 180 days. Ms. Williams, I don't have the exact date and number of days in front of me. Is it 180? Okay. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. That I'm just going to let you know I'm going to be a no vote on this.
Okay.
And with the increase in common area maintenance, knowing that we're the only tenant of the building, what exactly do we define as common area? I'm assuming this is charges for something that the lessor maintains.
Correct. So that's going to be, parking lot, grounds, roof, structure of the building. Some of those things are obviously naturally built into the lease itself. Common area maintenance is going to be the actual footprint inside the building that includes that center hallway between the two sides and the public restrooms, or the restrooms period, for the building that are off of that center hallway. That would be the common area. And again, that's all in the lease terms that the board has previously approved and in the executed lease.
So we don't maintain anything on the exterior of the building?
The way the lease was written up, excuse me, the owner has the responsibility for the building structure, the building roof, the parking lot, the landscaping, and so forth.
No removal?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? Did I bring a motion up already? Okay. Did I bring? Okay, I need a motion and a second. Did we bring it up already? Okay. We had a lot of good discussions here. Okay, let's get a vote here, and all those who are in favor, would you vote with an aye?
Aye.
Okay, and those opposed with a nay? I didn't hear somebody else said nay. Those two, okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So, okay, the ayes have it. Thank you. All right. I think that's it. Okay. Let's move on to our public comments. Are there any? Okay. Any miscellaneous items? just a reminder for those who haven't, please sign up for the ClerkMate boardroom software training. Very critical. When we implement it, we'll be on board and ready to go. Okay. If there's nothing else, we will adjourn at this time. Thank you.